All set. Everyone clear. Car to track.
The 1988 McLaren MP4-4. What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. And yes, we're back again for another round of the MRL F1 Classics, as there was a nice kind gesture there as one of the cars decided to let me out there. I think that might be actually a little bit of a glitch, but yeah, welcome back to round 4 of the MRL F1 Classics Leagues. Here's a reminder of the championship standings going into this one. Of course, Greek still leading the way. We had a fairly decent result the last time out around Russia. Feels like so long ago, actually, that I probably can't even remember it because it was complete rubbish that point of the weekend. But anyway, as usual, as you can tell, we're in the 1988 McLaren MP4-4. And as always, I give you a little bit of a history on these sort of cars, the older cars anyway. So obviously, this car debuted 1988. Had drivers Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna drive this car, and of course, this well known having a Honda engine in it. I think this probably had the better Honda engine compared to what McLaren had in 2016-17 especially. So anyway, completed in 16 races, won 15 times, took 15 pole positions, 10 fastest laps, Drivers' Championship with Ayrton Senna, and the Constructors' Championship. Incredible 10-1-2 finishes. Statistically, this car holds the record as the most dominant single-season car with a winning percentage of nearly 94%, which, when I checked back on the history, I think the next best car was probably either 2016 or 2017 Mercedes with about 90-odd%. Anyway, what else we got here? One of the most dominant cars in F1 that's ever been built, obviously. Not much else to say, really. Alain Prost had 7 wins, had 2 retirements that year and 14 podiums. Ayrton had 8 wins, 1 retirement, 1 disqualification, and 11 podiums, which wasn't too bad at all. And this car was pretty dominant. The lowest finishing position it had was P10 out of a race anyway. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can give for the 1988 McLaren. But anyway, as you can tell now, we're well and truly through qualifying. We are doing the Japanese Grand Prix, but we are doing the shorter circuit for this round. Obviously, you know, try something a little bit different and do circuits that majority of us probably never do in our entirety of our lives anyway. But check on board now with a few replays. On board with Captain Farah onto the grass, and that looked a bit close there. Not sure who that was, but he reversed out of the way, and actually his car got reset back to the track, which seems a little bit weird. But anyway, is continuing on, and there goes Chimchar off to the left-hand side there. But yeah, and a bit further on, he actually spins out on the curb. Now, originally, as I was running pretty much without any fuel, I ran out of fuel, to be honest. But I originally thought I may have caused something behind me, but when I look back on it, Captain was a bit further back than me anyway, so I got out of the woods there. But yeah, this car is very hard to drive anyway, especially getting the power down on this car. I probably will mention it a lot during this as well, but that is actually X-Deal crashing out of this race, qualifying, which is obviously easily done with that tyre barrier you just saw there. But onto the left, there goes Sato. Like I said, another one who is just struggling with putting the power down, especially on this sort of circuit. Had to, even when I was practicing for this round as well, I could even tell, that was a little bit close for comfort there. I was just getting out of the road of Chimchar, and I think it was Penske. Oh, no, he's around again. Doing a little 360 there, and actually reverses back just to get out of everybody's road, which is the right thing to do. Oh, that was a little bit of a slam there. And weird thing is he actually gets a 5-place grid penalty for that, which, I mean, seems unfair, yes, you could say. But, yeah, anyway, it is really unfortunate. But we're pretty much halfway through the qualifying session anyway. Probably went a little bit the wrong way with the setup. I changed to the front wing a little bit, but you can see there, Greek Master currently on provisional pole. I think we're about 8 tenths behind in P2, so we set some pretty decent lap times. I didn't really know what to expect pace-wise, and actually Cosmic Robbie actually set a lap time while I was checking through the results screen there, and actually went up in P2. It was about half a second clear behind Greek anyway, but anyway, you could easily, like with these cars, you could put a heap of fuel on and just chuck on a set of tyres, and especially around this circuit, you can tell I've already done, I think, 6 laps already of qualifying runs, because these tyres are pretty easy. Like, you don't use them too much throughout the qualifying session especially, and I think for the same thing for the race anyway, but it was Captain Farah just getting out of the road there. You'll be able to see him coming onto the front straight, how hard it was getting onto the power there a little bit, but what I'm going to do here is actually going to show you these next 2 quickest laps, because they turned out, well, the last one actually turned out to be my fastest lap of this qualifying session. So we're currently in P4 at the moment. We set what did we set? A 41.36 at the moment. We set it's behind in, obviously, like I said, P4. There you can see Conrad Straight is up in P3, and I felt like this is probably a little bit embarrassing, because we all know the legendary Steve Bingham, probably the oldest bloke out there in the field. Sorry, Conrad, if you're watching this video back, but you see throughout this lap, I'm pretty much using the high gears, because I found out if you use the lower gears, you can get on the power probably way too early, and you lose the back end, like you saw in the replays earlier. So go up to P3 with a 41.132. Obviously, is a very quick lap time around the Japanese short circuit. But this is actually the fast lap of my qualifying session. Now through the S section here, again using the high gears. I did try using 4th gear around here, but that was just losing the back end too much. So found a pretty solid use of 5th gear around here. So then he shifted back to 4th gear around this last bit of hairpin there. It was a bit tricky to get into the pit lane. You can probably tell I used the normal way in, but we cross the line and we go to P2, and actually I'm on low fuel mode. So I pretty much just got my lap time in, but we do go up into, obviously, P2. What was it? 41 flat, pretty much, as that was Lockie off to the left-hand side there on Captain Farah's lap time. I think Captain just trying a little bit to, oh no, onto the grass, and yep, out.
Damn it. Are you okay?
He actually did record his commentary there, so yeah, not overly too thrilled there. Oh, Penske, who was that? That's someone spun there, coming out of the S section there. And now we go on board there with Sato, currently P7 at the moment. There's someone off to the right-hand side there. And off into the grass he goes, but oh, again, see what I mean? Just getting on the power too early, you easily spin the car. Now, whether that's obviously to do with this car or just the setup, I don't know personally, but I think a few guys were having the same troubles as well. As just Sato getting out of everybody's road there. Who's that going through? Can't really tell there, but just trying to get going again, and well, the rest is history. Unfortunately, he's out of qualifying as well. So, yeah, it's a real shame for Sato. Hasn't had the greatest of run so far in MRL, but I did watch the end of Penske's lap time, and I seriously don't know how he didn't lose his right. I'll get my words right in a minute. How he didn't lose his right front wheel, because when you look at all the other bits of footage, especially from Captain and Sato, yeah, I don't know. It's all very weird there. It's on board now with Cosmic Robbie, but Penske wasn't the only one, because you can see there that was actually Lockie, who's also spun as well. Just coming out of the, I think it's turn 1, obviously, but I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the Japanese short circuit very well, like what the corner numbers are. It'd probably be similar to the normal Japanese circuit anyway, except with a shortcut, basically, onto the front straight. But anyway, Greek Master gets pole with a 40.49, which is nearly 6/10 clear of us in P2. Probably my best qualifying in MRL. Cosmic Robbie, Conrad, Penske, Fenn, Sato with the 5 grid place penalty, Captain Farah, Poms, X Dill, round out to 10, and Lockie, Chimchar, and Kiowas rounding out the 13 car grid. Now, we did have to have a little bit of a restart because we had 2 people join us a bit late, but getting to the race, yeah, not going to lie, I hated it because you can tell it's absolutely bloody wet. Put it simply, there's no other word. So pretty much we could just use the setup, change the setup big time, and yeah, here we go. 5 red lights. It's a long hold, but let's do it around the Japanese short circuit, and you just see, just trying not to avoid wheel spin off the start. Creed got a fairly decent start, but you can just see in between myself and he gets struggling. He goes well and truly off the road there, but somehow manages to hang on to that position for now. But instantly I knew straight away that probably the high gears were for better use, especially in the wet. You can just tell how bad these conditions are at the current moment. So I think not everybody's through clean. There was a few yellow flags at the back. I think a few guys may have got caught up.
Let's focus now for the rest of the race.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm going to be needing that for this race for sure. But yeah, we're doing also the 100% race distance as well. So that's why we're doing 53 laps of this, which you can just see me struggling. And I nearly lose the car. That would have been very awkward there, but just it's hard to get the power down, like I mentioned many times. And lost the spot, obviously, to Cosmic Robbie, so that's put me back into P3. But I knew it was just a long race, running a bit wide down into turn 1 there. Just getting onto the power very easily. I lose the back end, and now we're spun. Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be too long. I'm in a very awkward spot there, so I quickly try and get myself out of the road there, but now I'm just going to circle myself back into... just can't even get the power down. Even in first gear, I was just struggling, but back in we go to P11. So, yeah, you can probably tell... I mean, some racetracks, yes, wet weather is sort of okay for me, but for others... not brilliant, as you can tell there. But anyway, we go going again, but even after that little spin, I'm still struggling, losing the rear end, and, well, there goes the limit of the front wing. So what was looking pretty decent. So yeah, I thought decided to pit this lap.
The pits at the end of this lap.
Anyway, so especially with no front wing around this joint now. The way I took the pit lane was pretty much just the normal way into, like, if you do the normal way on F1 2018, they'll do a nice slide into the pits, actually. So, a bit oversteery there, but there are a few guys also in the lane as well. But, yeah.
Now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits.
One thing I forgot to change was to repair my front wing. So, basically, yeah, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do now, because... I'm basically screwed there, and I think also Penske was out of this race. There's actually a wheel down the front straight there as he come. I think this is actually the leaders, actually. I'm just trying to get out of everybody's road here. Who was that going very wide there? I can't tell on my preview screen there, but slightly behind X still there. I think I'm already a lap down, and I probably wouldn't be surprised if I am. But anyway, look at it. I'm just in 5th gear, and it's hard. Just trying to avoid getting on the power, and just slowly as I can, trying to go easy. I even went into the more wet side of the track just to try and avoid getting the wheel spins. But yeah, I knew it was a long race, so still a bit of a recovery to do. So we did catch up eventually to Chimcha on lap 5. So all's not lost at this point. We may try and get some points anyway, but again, using 5th gear, coming around the final corner now, but just lose the back end and the slam into the wall.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
And that's pretty much it, really. No, well, lost the front wing, obviously, but obviously it was significant damage enough to cause me to DNF out of this race. So anyway, we'll go on board with replays with this on board with V-Fence. A little bit sideways off the start as well. I think that was Neon Tridone who actually joined late to the session. So there's a couple of guys spinning there. I think Penske was the one on the left. Not sure who the one on the right was. Someone went very wide there. I think that was Lockie. I could be wrong, but you just see, look at everybody struggling. Captain's gone off, Conrod's gone off. So it's not just me that's not used to these wet weather conditions. Chimchar as well. Benz has just gone from like, where did he start, 13th or something, up into 6th place. So he's pretty much halved his grid spot there, and still has a little moment, pretty much what I had earlier on. So that puts Fens up into P5 there, and well, you'd be able to see somewhere in the foreground there. There I am, off to the left-hand side there, and I don't know, I may have put Poms off a little bit there with my off, so apologies, Poms. But actually, Fen's got an illegal overtake on Poms. I don't know whether he actually gave the spot back or not, but yeah, anyway, continue on. That's actually Greek, who actually is completely bottled it, unfortunately. Sorry to say that, Greek, but that was on lap 4, actually. But he's a replay on board with Penske, because he was one of the ones that spun. Going up the middle there. I can tell it's going to be trouble, and yeah, pretty much that says it all, really. So not even, I don't know, 200, 300 metres off the line there, and that's actually Sato off to the right there. So pretty much like the previous week in, the previous round in Russia. There's 3 guys off the road there, 4 guys off actually. So nice easy 4 spots there for Penske. So he's back up into P9.
Confirmed.
He's come straight into the pit lane. Now he takes what was actually the right way to go into the pits, which I didn't actually realise until probably after the race anyway. But this is probably how he crashed out here. So about to begin lap 3. So he's obviously dead last at the pit stop there. Again, struggling to get on the power. Loses the rear end, and well, the tyre's off.
Are you all right? Engine off. Engine off.
Rest is history, unfortunately. It's another DNF, unfortunately, for Penske. He's on board now, Captain Farah's point of view. So, like I said, he was one of the ones that went off into the grass. Conrad as well. But where's Conrad going? That was Chimchar off to the left there. So just going side by side. Chimchar hangs on for now. You got Conrad, just manages to hang on to Conrad there. There's me off to the left as always. And that also put Captain off a little bit there. So he's off into the grass. Still hangs on to P7, I think it is for now. But oh my God. And that's actually Poms as well. And who was that? Also can't really tell. Possibly Chimchar has crashed on the front straight. But yeah, that's someone going. Sorry, that's Lockie actually going off the road there on the left. So plenty of guys being tricked up by the wet weather conditions, unfortunately. But on board now we go with Sato, because he was the other one that was actually spun around. So what happens here? Gets on the power. Just managed to hang off now. No, he actually spun there and actually got hit by someone. Pretty much finished him off, unfortunately. So yeah, fortunately for Sato, he's now back at the rear of the grid now. But you can even tell he's struggling to just get on the power. I'm going to mention this quite a lot in this video. I do apologise if it is too much. But yeah, these cars are so tricky just to get on the power. I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know what it is, really. Probably the same thing would have occurred had it happened in the dry anyway. But now we're on the lap 2. Good save there. But that was, who's that off to the, that was Lockie actually. And now Sato's lost part of his front wing now, unfortunately.
Okay,
so
this lap.
now compare that to Penske, who lost his front right wheel. And yeah, I don't know how he survived that one, but he ran wide off into gravel there. So both these guys will probably come into the pits, which they did, and that was Lockie coming in. Here's Sato. Now he actually did get his front wing changed. The same can't be said for me, but in the end I probably did jump these guys. So he actually had to be held there a little bit for Lockie. I just don't get why you need to have that bigger gap anyway when you're after the pit stops. It seems ridiculous, actually. I hope that's fixed in probably F1 2019 at this point. But yeah, Sato again running a bit wide down into turn 1. That's actually, oh, Greek. Jesus, that could have ended badly. Who's that off to the right? Just missed that on my screen, unfortunately. You probably would have seen it on you for everybody else that they did as well. But and now Sato starting lap 5, and there goes another front wing.
Ahead is 8.3 seconds.
And And there goes Greek, actually.
You've taken some minor damage.
Just look at it. It's just so hard to get on the power here. Even probably with the when you're driving these cars, maybe avoid the lower gears, especially because you'll just wheel spin all over the place, really. But who's that off the road? That's actually Greek again, who's spun off. So he's having a terrible race, and well, if we all know, Greek's not. Oh, there's Pom's off the road as well, to the left there. Greek's not going to lie. Sorry, Greek, if you're watching this, but Greek's not the best in the wet, unfortunately. But this is probably the back end of it, of Pom's crash, I think, or he may have had another spin, I'm not sure. But here he is. He's just going to come into the lane and get a front wing change. He's locked up and, well, slammed into the wall, and, well, somehow the pit crew still decide to fix his car, even though he's lost his left front. So pretty reminiscent, actually, to I think it was Owens in TOR around here that did either, no, TOR or SRL, one of the two anyway. You'll probably seen the footage anyway, but reminiscent of that anyway. But yeah, Pom's car actually came back out onto the track. Obviously ghosted, thank God for that. But oh, Lockie, I think he slammed into the wall. And he's another DNF out of this Japanese Grand Prix. So I think we're now pretty much left with 10 runners. So pretty much everybody can score points now.
Caution, caution.
That was Sato just going by Lockie, actually, for that big crash that he had. So, like I said, put Sato up in the P10. So pretty much just needs to finish. Well, every one of these guys need to finish this race just to claim some points. He's captain. A little bit slow through there. There goes Conrad up the inside. Lovely move there from the legendary Steve Bingham. Yeah, not ideal to get on the curb there. He's got... can't do anything else about it. It's continuing on. There's actually yellow flags down there. And oh, Chimchar. Oh, this is on lap 12, I believe it is. But that's the first crash, I think, for Chimchar this race. And we're actually in the same party. I think myself, Penske, Poms, and Chimchar all in the same party there. That was Neon having a bit of a moment on the front straight there. But you see Chimchar making his way into the pit lane. He's trying to avoid the wall. Yes, he does. Good lad. So he's going to have to change that front wing. Dare say it won't be the last time, unfortunately. But yeah, now the crew go to work now to change that front wing. It's a very small front wing. Well, to be fair, it's a very small car compared to what it is these days. But nice stop, and well, he will get going eventually. There he goes. This Fenn sets the fastest lap of the race. So we continue on. Captain Farah is running a little bit off the road again. It's the power. He's just getting on the power again, and he's lost a spot now to Kiowa. So that's putting back into P6 now. Off the road he goes. So probably a little bit late on the braking there, a little bit. There's a bit of a yellow flag there. Not sure what that was about. There's Chimchar just running off the road again onto the grass. Nice and easy on the front straight. Never mind. There goes another bit of carbon fibre. Thankfully, we do have safety fencing there, so it doesn't affect the crowd. But which is reversing, and, well, that was a little bit awkward there. Nearly crashing out into the leaders. We were cautioning him a little bit because the leaders were actually coming down the front straight, so you don't really want to take out the leaders anyway when they go past, but so you're just being very cautious here. I think there's another car going by. There he goes. So that was, I think, Sato. So, I mean, yes, Chimchar is now 2 laps down and finally going to have a bit of space, I think. Yes, he does. There goes the last car, I think. So, oh, no, sorry, there's another one. But, yeah, I think Chimchar's going to have to come back in for the pit stop anyway. But he's on board with Captain Farah again. Same thing, but this was probably 4 laps later. Again, getting on that power is just horrendous in this car. But he's on his own pretty much at the moment. Oh, Chimchar again. I think this was probably a couple of laps later. I don't know whether he actually changed the front wing earlier, but now he's just having a bit of doing a bit of mowing in that 1988 McLaren. I probably don't blame him, but Yeah, but he'll still get some points if he finishes this race anyway. Where is he going? He's going to hit the wall, and there he goes. So now that's the full front wing gone now for Chimchar, unfortunately. So he's going to now try and get going, and it's very slippery. Just be very cautious. Hit that tyre wall nicely. There we go. Oh, he's hit it again. Be very careful. He did eventually, I think, get it going, but just need to reverse back a bit more, Chimchar. There we go. Avoid that tyre barrier as much as you can, and as he does come out just in front of the leaders, which was a bit awkward. I think he now has a bit of free space, and yes, he does come in. So another front wing change, unfortunately, for a Chimchar. So nice and easy into the pit lane, and well, not the greatest of races, unfortunately, for Chimchar. He's probably had not the best luck either in MRL, unfortunately. But yeah, crew going to work again. Another front wing. I hope they've brought plenty of front rings for this race, because they're going to need it, I think, for now. But just taking his time, and he will get going. There he goes. So yeah, it's now 3-4 laps down. But this was actually him coming out of the pits. Just running too wide through to turn one there, probably just letting the leaders get out of the road anyway. But this was oh no, Chimchar, he's done it again. Done the exact same thing that happened a few laps earlier. But what are we on now? I think this one, can't really tell on my screen, probably lap 17, but this is actually Fens, who got the move done for the race lead on Cosmic Robbie. On to lap 19 now.
Nice move.
So I'm good at guessing it was probably lap 17 earlier, but there's Neon Trito trying to, I think, unlap himself, because he's a bit way down the order here. So Fens hangs on for now, but for how long, who knows. But lap 20, that's Sato actually off the road there. So there's a few guys being caught out now. I don't know where Sato got that front wing damage, whether he already had it or not, but probably would have carried on from the front straight, maybe not. But anyway, now he's just spinning out into the grass here, and nice and cautiously out of here. Oh, never mind. Get off the wall. Stay off the wall. Very nice indeed. So
Blue flag, blue flag.
just waiting for the competitors to come through. There they
We're
go.
not racing the car behind. Let them past when you
He's
can.
got a bit of room there, so just to keep going. So nice and simple for him, and wouldn't be surprised if he actually comes in for a pit stop here, and I think he does actually. So correct me, this is probably wing change number 2 or number 3, one of them for Sato. He's got a bit of distance to Chimchar, who's probably a couple of laps down on him, but
Go now.
away he goes. So he should recover well, hopefully, and will get some points anyway. But I think this is literally just coming out of the pits. So that's actually Chimchar in front, albeit, yes, a couple of laps down. But actually, I think Chimchar spun again. So not looking too good at the moment, as Captain Farrow's just getting by. I can't really tell who that was, but actually gets passed by Greekmaster, who's made a decent recovery, let's say. He's back up into P6 now, so after the early couple of spins, and was leading the race anyway. But there's Chimchar off the road again on lap 20, I think this is. It's either lap 20 or 21, so very wrong. Chimchar now, he's been reset actually to the track as well. So I think Sato's actually coming for another pit stop. Lap 21, Chimchar still off on the road here. I think he'd prefer a car with dune buggying abilities, not this car. I don't think that fits well with, well, not mowing the grass and getting out on the gravel anyway, but yeah, Sato did come back in again, I believe, or whether that was the same lap or not. Oh, Greek! Yeah, it was a little bit close for comfort there. And Captain just manages to avoid him, so he gets back P6, but don't know for how much longer. To lap 21. Oh, fans running off the road. And there goes Cosmic Robbie. So just took one little mistake. And there goes Neon Tridome, who's actually, like I mentioned, a lap down. So he's trying to get his lap back. But pretty much lap 21. Captain runs a little bit wide. I think I've probably put a little bit off by Greek. And back up goes Greek into P6. But going to go side by side. No, not quite here. So I think Greek may pull away here. Maybe we'll wait to see. But now continuing on. Actually gets the 3-second time penalty because that was definitely a corner cut there. But who's this behind? It's actually, he's getting blue flags. Like, oh, okay, so the leader's actually going by here. So there's not too many cars on the lead lap. Actually, he gets passed by Neon Tridome for P7. Oh, nearly hitting the wall onto the front straight there. And that would have been a bit awkward if he crashed along there. But anyway, continuing on to lap 24 now. And Chimchar is still spinning around all over the place here. So he was actually going to come in and pit that lap anyway. But no, continues on for now. Albeit with half a front wing missing. But I think at this point, there's only like 6 cars on the lead lap. Neon Tridome and Captain Farrow a lap down. Sato 3 laps down. I think Chimchar 6 laps down. And, well, it might be 7 laps down now because he's just crashed again. And, well, his race is just going from strength to strength here. And it was weird. He actually did drive back the wrong way and actually gets disqualified from it. So, that just pretty much sums up Chimchar's day, unfortunately. So, yeah, with that disqualification, obviously, he will go back to the last place anyway. So, anyway, we continue on. Oh, Sato again is crashed. This is on, what's it we're on now? Lap 27, I think we are. Correct me. But now Sato just backs it off the wall there, gets into the gravel trap, lets the leaders go through and gets some weird 3-second time penalty. Just got to be careful here. Doesn't collide into anybody here. Greg actually gets by, Conrad actually pits actually. So there it goes Conrad. He's out of the pits. So the strategy did say it was going to be a 1-stop, but I think majority of it were going to go for the minimum 0 stop. And well, that's not ideal for Sato, unfortunately. So I think he was a few laps down. That wouldn't surprise me if that's made his front wing even worse, actually. So you got to be careful here because if you stay stopped on track for too long, you can actually get pinged. But there you go. There's his spin again. So who's that on the background there? Can't work it out. Possible. No, sorry, it wouldn't be Lockie because he's out of the race. Might be. You probably would see it on your screen anyway, but continuing on for Sato. We still get a couple of points as he now drifts through the S's part here of the circuit and lets through Captain Farah. So that's put him another lap, well, not officially another lap down, but he's been passed by another lapped car, and it's just not Sato's day, unfortunately. Really needs a bit of luck in MRL. He's just had none of it in this game, in this league anyway. But there's Sato obviously having the moment, and Captain going by and still stays in P8. But back we go on boards like lap 27 for Sato. I think it's like lap 30 odd for the leaders, but getting on the power too early and just easily spinning the rear up too much. Whether you had to put the bit more rear wing on or something, I don't know, because you would. I was just sliding every single which way, but now we're on lap, what are we on? We'll get it right for a minute. Yeah, lap 29 we're on now. X-Dill's in and Kaiwas is in, because I think they were thinking that it was actually going to be a 1-stop race, because you do get pinged apparently sometimes if you don't do the mandatory stop, but whether that's occurring in this game I don't know. But Kai was at the serve a 5-second stop-go penalty, I think, so may explain why he had to be held into the pits. But lap 31 now, see Neon making a great comeback here. He's just passed X-Dill for P4, so pretty decent recovery now, and there's only 3 cars on the lead lap actually, because pretty much anybody from Neon down is a lap car. But there's Captain having another moment through the S's section here, and now coming through the final, what do you call it, a long right-hander here, as that was Kai was having a moment through there. This is just after the pit stop here. He's just going right down the right-hand side there near the pit wall, and I think he hangs onto it for now. We'll see when we go down to turn 1. He just hangs on for now. Ooh, does Captain put it up there? No, not quite. But runs very wide, does Kai was there. And yeah, that's actually his full position. So now Captain goes up into P7 in this race. More decent points as well for him. It's Cosmic Robbie going off wide at turn 1. That's just given Fens the lead back. So they easily make mistakes around this joint. But what are we on? Lap 33 now. That's Sato again crashing on the front straight. So at this point, he'd be lucky to finish. But actually, Fens sets the fast lap of the race. And on fairly used tyres, mind you. But again, getting on the power
on the MFT.
just never works in this car anyway. So there's a very awkward spot there. So I think he had a bit of clean air, well, behind anyway, to avoid any traffic. So he's going to have to come back in again. There goes, was that Greek Master? I can't work it out, but I think that's Fens just going by now. So another lap car. But in he comes again. This is stop 3 or 4, I reckon, for the front wing change. I hope they did. Like I mentioned earlier, I hope they brought a lot of front wings for this race. But he's still going to stay in P9, albeit I think 6 or 7 laps down. I would not be surprised. But just needs to stay out on track. And like I mentioned, just gain points. But that's not going to help the cause when you get on the power too much there. Sliding through the S's section here. Now back aboard we go with Captain Farrow, who's now coming back under attack here from Kaiwas. You see that proximity arrow getting pretty close here, and does he have a little moment? Yes, he does have a little moment actually, and that's easy for Kaiwas. So not a free spot there for him, but actually Captain now comes in on, what is he, for lap 36 for him. I think it's like lap 37 for the leaders anyway, but away he goes. Nice stop. Now, I think he should be okay. Well, everything was going all right at this point, but unfortunately, he actually gets an Xbox update at the worst time, which is really unfortunate. But, yeah, it's a real shame, and I don't think he could get back in, or the update took a bit longer than expected. But anyway, Cosmic Robbie came into the pit lane, so that was one of the lead guys anyway. And Sato just kept it straight there to keep it off the wall. And now Greek sets the fast lap of the race. Can't really tell on the live screen what it was, but Sato, hang on, son, hang on. Just now just taking it so cautiously, even getting it on lean mix, but I don't think that's really helping too much. But back on the power, and oh no, that's Sato now out of the Grand Prix. That was on lap 49 actually, so we're nearing the end of this long 53 lap stint around the Japanese short circuit. He's on board what actually happened. Everything seems pretty reasonable, and then probably gets a little bit of the patch of water there, and well, yeah, rest is history. He'd add another victim, so that's, what's that, 1, 2, well, probably 3, 4 if you count myself, even though mine was before the pit wall there on the front straight. But yeah, lap 50, Greek's had a bit of an off somewhere because he's changing his front wings, so it's not great guns for the pole sitter, unfortunately. He probably will still hang on to the lead in the championship, I think. But oh my God, Cosmic Robbie nearly blew it. That was on lap 52. I think he's got a fair margin to Neon Trino, but Fens on the final lap nearly did the exact same thing as Cosmic Robbie. That would have been a bit awkward. He's got a fair margin, mind you, because I don't think Fens has stopped. But Greek again. It's all going horribly wrong for him now, as they'll be able to see very shortly as he now No, he's pretty much just doing donuts at this point in this race. But he nearly hits one of the cars there. I'm not sure which one it was, but here comes Fens to take the victory around the Japanese short circuit in this 1988 McLaren. And I honestly don't know what Greek was doing at that point. And I think actually later on he might get a penalty for it. But Neon Tridome, a good recovery from him into P3. I think he pitted on lap 1 or just carried on and come back through the field anyway. But you can see what I said earlier, Greek getting a 5-second stop-go penalty. And this was him just coming around because he was the final finisher as he does a nice little 360 there across the line. And there you go. That was the race. So, as I said, Fens wins the Grand Prix. Celebrations are on here. I think pretty much most of us were glad to get to finish the race and get out of this car anyway, because not brilliant anyway getting on the power, but nice handy 976 XP there for rank 12. So there's the final results. So Fens, Cosmic, Robbie and Neon Tridome, good recovery from him, albeit yes, only the top 2 guys actually finished on the lead lap, but they got Conrad, Dill, Kiowas, Captain Farah and Greek running out the finished runners, and pretty much anybody from Sato downwards, including myself, we all DNF'd out of this race. And you can see all the amount of warnings there. Well, not actually too many. I thought it was actually going to be better, bit worse than that. But there's the championship standings. Actually, Fens actually takes the lead of the championship, I think by 10 points over Greek Master. Neon in 3rd, Chimchar in 4th. Where am I on this list? I can't even see my name. I think I'm P11. Not got the greatest amount of points, not gonna lie anyway, but yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Sorry it wasn't the most fun race anyway, but smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more MRL F1 classics on F1 2018. Be sure to check out the Motorsport Racing League website if you want to sign up, especially. It's next up will be the Canadian Grand Prix in the 1992 Williams. So until then, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.